Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the Loudtime Podcast. I'm Trey Gunter, and this is, the first podcast that I've made in a long time, and I'm super excited about it. It's going to be super fun. I don't really know what we're going to talk about in its entirety, but, current situations, technology, things that we're interested in, movies, music, things of that nature.
Current events.
Current events to an extent, if you will. Okay. Just kind of what's going on. I'm going to have a lot of friends on the show. People that I work with, people that I know, people that I'm really close with. Currently, my best friends, Cole and Cait, are on the show. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the first episode. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Yeah. It's super convenient to have you guys. They live 15 steps away. So
we live in 806.
Wow.
Don't tell me.
Wow. Yeah, if you want to come murder him, he lives there.
Yeah, they don't know where we live. It's fine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's good to have you guys. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, good job.
Thanks.
Have you guys ever been on a podcast before?
No, absolutely not.
No?
No, this is the first time.
Yeah?
I have to admit.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I am excited.
Have you ever been on a radio show or anything?
No.
No?
Who do you think I am?
Well, I'm just maybe interviewed for school or a play or something.
I mean, I've been in front of a microphone several times.
Yeah.
The best I've got is I do really well in speeches when I can see my audience, but this just kind of feels like I'm just going to be rambling.
Yeah. It's more of just a recorded conversation, a forced conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to make you talk to me, and you're well, okay, I guess that's all right.
It doesn't have to be forced, though. It could just be, guided.
Yeah.
What you should really do is you should secretly record us, so that way I don't know the microphone's on.
No, because then it wouldn't be the best environment.
But it would be the most authentic version of Caitlin that you can get.
Hilarious. So, what's interesting? Nothing. I started this podcast right now because in my life, everything kind of lined up to do so. I have a job that allows me to do so, and I'll kind of go into depth with that. I do some PR work, I guess, for
I would call it that.
A local construction company.
It's kind of like PR land surveying, if you will.
Yeah, to an extent, land surveying, PR. Basically, I take drone footage of property and land in East Texas or of houses that a construction worker that I've worked for has built, things like that, and put them on his website, edit them for possible investors, things like that, and I needed technology to do so I just kind of had the means, and I figured I would start it. Plus, I work at Best Buy, so
Yeah, that always helps.
I know.
You get lots of technology from that.
I can get technology from Best Buy. It's a great place to get technology. You should buy your technology at Best Buy.
For sure.
It is honestly the best place to get it, if we're being honest.
Come see me.
Who else has people that know what they're talking about? You know what I mean? Walmart.
Yeah, you're right.
You can go to Walmart to buy your laptop.
We had some guy in Walmart try to stop us today. We were like, no thanks.
You can't hide behind that dress shirt, man.
Yeah, no, who's gonna go to Walmart?
You really are.
Who's gonna go to Walmart to buy their laptop? To be honest, you're gonna go to Best Buy, right?
Well, I mean, honestly, before I knew you, I probably would have just gone to Walmart to buy it.
Nah.
I would not have gone to Walmart. She would have gone to Walmart.
Really?
Yes.
For sure.
So,
I didn't know there was anything wrong with Walmart.
But no, even though there's a Best Buy in Tyler, you would never have thought you should go to an electronics store to buy a laptop rather than a grocery store to buy a laptop.
I would have felt like that was unnecessary. But seeing as the fact that I go to specialized places to buy makeup most of the time instead of Walmart to buy makeup, I guess it makes sense, but I just didn't think about it before.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Because that product is specialized to an extent. That's what they do is electronics or makeup.
Have more options.
Right.
Ulta does sell the same brands that Walmart sells, but it also sells the expensive ones in addition to that.
Right, as to where Walmart does not. What about you? What do you guys do? Do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, I mean, we both work at the Chipotle here in Siler, and it's lit.
Yeah?
It's lit, yeah. I mean, I really like being a service manager. I like leading people, and I mean, I gotta say that I'm everybody's favorite, so.
I mean, it is cool to say that, you are young and you are a manager. That's cool, you know?
It's neat being the youngest person on the shift, being in charge of everybody up there.
Right. That's cool to say. Yeah, like not many people could say they're in charge of people, their age and twice as old to an extent.
Yeah, I think it definitely like exercises my brain. I have to think quick on my feet a lot, so that's nice. It keeps me thinking. Yeah,
and it kind of probably like makes you have to be a bit more like mature to an extent, because you kind of have to think like an adult would in a situation like that.
You wouldn't believe the amount of times that new hires ask me how old I am, and whenever I tell them, they think that I was like 5 years older than I really am.
Really?
They're always so shocked. They're like, "You're kidding."
That's crazy. People don't ask me that question very often. We don't really talk about age at Best Buy. We just kind of talk about video games and nerdy stuff. Like, so you're like, "Do you play League?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, kinda." And you're like, "Oh, yeah, me too." And that's kind of it. And you're like, "Oh, cool." Yeah, that's it. Get in my Discord channel. That's about all.
Nice.
But what's cool is technology is like super crazy right now. Like all the stuff that's coming out recently and has come out in the past year. Like I'm just super excited just to see what's gonna come out in the next year or so. Like by 2020, shit's gonna be super super crazy. Like
I'm ready for like see-through phones.
Oh, I'm just like I'm ready for like in the screen fingerprint readers being like anywhere on the display, not in just one spot.
That's already coming, isn't it?
You just put your finger on the screen.
There's one now that you just put your finger on the screen. We watched the video on it the other day.
Right.
It's the Mate 20 Pro, I think. And it reads your fingerprint through the glass. So it's pretty quick for being under the glass, but like I'm ready for just put your thumb down, boom, it's unlocked anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really mind the button on the iPhone. It's pretty efficient. I think.
No, but like once you get to once you switch to Face ID on the iPhone 10, like or on anything, it's way better than on the button. Like I hate to say that, but like if I were to switch back to the button, I would feel it's an inconvenience because I can just pull my phone in my pocket and look at it, and it's unlocked.
Yeah, you're right. Like if my thumb is like sweaty, it doesn't recognize that that's my thumbprint, I guess.
Right. Or like if you're kind of in the shower and your finger's wet and you can't like skip the song or reply to a text message or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I most definitely would just rather be able to look at it.
Super annoying.
Would it even recognize you in the shower? Like shampoo in your hair and whatnot.
I mean, my face isn't different just because I'm in the shower. It's still my face.
I guess you're right.
You disagree?
No, I said I guess you're right.
Oh, I was like, well, okay.
But anyways, I can't wait for these see-through phones so that way I can lose my phone 80% more often.
Yeah, that sounds super terrible, to be honest. Like, I don't...
We're gonna have to put, like, flashing lights on them or something.
Or just not make them see-through.
I was about to say...
That's a thing.
Is that a concept? Like, that's...
Like, why would you...
Glass, you know?
I mean, yeah, but I want it with, like a solid back to it, so I know, like, where it is.
No.
That's some space age.
Yeah, that's some Star Trek
right
shit.
There, man. Like,
I'm feeling so attacked.
I don't mean to. I'm not trying to like offend you. I'm just saying like
we're pretty far from that.
Well, I mean, everything that we have now used to be thought of as space age. You know, like stuff that was never going to be attainable.
Yeah, but I mean, look how
ID.
long it took us to get here.
Not that long, fam.
I mean,
not that long at all. Are you really thinking?
I mean, like in
100 years,
retrospect, yeah. To be honest, no. But like, we're gonna be dead by the time that shit happens.
I don't know, man.
Trust me.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, dude. Like,
they could have been some sort of well, they already have like cryostasis, but like, you've played Fallout. Let's be real.
What does that have to do with iPhones?
Well, someone could develop some form of like cryo like stasis chamber, you know, like something that to put us under for long periods of time, say for like space travel, as futuristic as that sounds, that would allow us to travel through space and reduce the amount of like aging that we do
That's
while we travel further.
all good and fine, but
How we can apply
how the hell does that advance to iPhones?
It doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you for proving my point.
Space age stuff.
Thank you.
I think
Thank you for
what
proving
he was
my
trying
point.
to say is that maybe if they invented a way, we could be alive when they come out with technology like this.
Oh my goodness! I totally went off on a tangent. Caitlin's
Okay.
correct. Yes. That's
Cool.
right.
Thanks for circling that back around for me.
Up with it. You're
Alright.
welcome.
Yeah, that one was a little tough to follow. No, I'm just...
No, it's fine. I understand.
But I don't find just like a solid piece of glass appealing. Not to me, at least.
No, that would be awesome. I definitely.
Or
I
like
definitely,
holographic.
Well,
I would much prefer a hologram.
okay, so here's something for you then. The hydrogen red 1, I think is what it's called. Maybe not. You can fact check me. It's the hydrogen phone, but it has a holographic display. So certain content can be displayed like a 3D movie to an extent, but it's more holographic than it is like traditional 3D. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's kind of
I
just
see.
projected.
Yeah.
It's called the red hydrogen one. You were
Yeah,
pretty close.
that's what I thought.
Wow.
It's $1,294.
Yeah, only
It's
available
not
with
very
Verizon.
pretty.
Very rugged looking.
This is AT&T. It's an AT&T website.
What is this? Motorola? Well, no, what is this? Who is this by?
Red, the camera company.
Oh. But it's fun.
Interesting.
Nice. Cool.
But what's interesting is, so this phone, this company makes cameras, right? They're known for their amazing cameras and lenses that they make. Like they're known for the bodies that they make. And the phone camera isn't made by them.
Are you kidding?
No, like the camera that's on the phone is not their camera
Why?
Weird.
Why is that?
because it's not meant to be. On the back of that phone, there's some smart pins at the bottom,
Okay.
and if you'll remember, you probably don't actually. Motorola had a few phones that had Moto mods attachments that you could put on the back of them.
I do remember that.
Yeah, same concept.
Okay.
They want to make like sensors they can attach to the phone that make it a better camera.
So they want to sell something in addition to the phone.
Correct. But you kind of need the phone to make it worth it.
Oh, nice. I'm looking at like the specs. It says that it's got a Snapdragon 835 processor.
Yeah. There's
and
actually
that it's coupled with 128 gigabytes of storage and 6 gigabytes of RAM.
there's a laptop
It's
made by
also got a
Lenovo.
micro SD card slot,
There's a laptop made by Lenovo
which is cool.
that runs the exact same specs as that phone.
Excuse me?
Mhm.
Wow.
It's an 8-core processor.
That's
It's pretty impressive.
very impressive.
For a mobile processor, it's very impressive.
I bet the phone gets hot.
Mm-mm.
Does-
I mean, not hotter than really any other.
phone. That's crazy though.
So, interesting. But it's cool to see companies kind of reaching out to do other things. Like both Razer and Asus have made phones.
I mean, that's how they stay in the competition. Diversity in products.
But I think it's just interesting to see them as gaming companies step into the phone game. Like, why shouldn't Asus make TVs? They already make monitors.
It's not the same.
But it's similar.
Well, what's really popular right now?
I mean, when are TVs not popular?
Well, there's no specific in recent years there's been a development in like esports and just things like that. And Kevin has a point, like there's a niche market, so people are working towards that direction to develop and just in that field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, that's true that they are kind of more towards a gaming oriented world, so they're probably trying to be more mobile gaming.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. You know, if they make phones that are capable of running their games, then their games will be more popular, right?
I mean, consider Fortnite on mobile. Even on like an iPhone 10, for example, it's not going to run at peak. Absolutely not.
It's pretty good.
It runs well, but I imagine it on this phone, you know, or some sort of Razer phone. Like it would be fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
I just think it's cool to see them. Excuse me. Step into that field. Like, I think it'd be interesting to see like I don't know, maybe Samsung start making actual gaming laptops or desktops.
You know what I'm interested in? When like a new device is going to come out, something that we don't have currently. You know, like how when iPads were first released, it was a tablet. That was something innovative. That was something new. You know, and then it was the virtual reality. I'm interested in what's going to come next after that.
I think augmented reality will be the next thing.
Augmented reality. Yeah, for sure.
Especially
that
makes
sense. That seems most logical.
Especially like after sorry that I have to talk about this for you guys the millionth time that I have said this, but like that part in the iPad keynote that I've shown you 15 times, where she takes that PSD from Photoshop and blows those layers up into real life.
Yes.
Like that shit blows my mind. Like
she walks around it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like in life, like she created that image literally and then blew it up for everyone to see and walked around it.
Yeah.
Like that shit's insane. All from her tablet.
Right.
Like that's crazy. Like 5 years ago that would have never been possible.
So what about like 3D printers? Why are these not as popular?
Because they're expensive.
They're incredibly fucking expensive, dude.
Like they're too expensive for the cost. Like a printer alone, we used to sell one when I first started working at Best Buy, and it was like, I think it was like $349, $399.
Okay.
$449, somewhere in there, like between $300 and $500, and like I think 2 of them were sold in my entire time that they were available.
Because what application do people have for them, or what
Right, like on a regular basis, like on an everyday basis, why would you want it?
Pretty much just artists.
Exactly.
Which is a very small pool.
Right,
of people.
and the artists who use it abuse it. Like there's a lot of 3D printed things that are amazing, like Etsy, like Wish, like all of those websites are full of things that have made by 3D printer.
They're incredibly useful in the medical field. Yeah.
Like a lot of people will buy gaming like console shells made from 3D printers to put like Raspberry Pis in to make like little mobile gaming consoles or like little emulators and stuff like that. So, but they're just like on a consumer day, like everyday scale, not a very high demand for how much they are. Plus the material is not very expensive, but it's not something you would just buy on a regular basis.
Yeah, I just remember whenever I heard those come out, I was always like, man, that's like, it just seemed really cool, but then nothing ever happened with it. But that makes sense. That makes sense why. It's impractical.
Yeah, to an extent, yeah. I'm excited to see, like, the upcoming television advancements.
Like in television, as in the object, or as in the entertainment industry?
The object.
The object itself. Yeah. Well, we've talked about this. I mean, the 8K televisions coming out.
Yeah, that'll probably be the next thing this year.
Yeah.
Currently, the biggest thing is the best thing that you can get right now is the 77-inch OLED W, which is a wallpapered television.
Wallpaper?
Yeah, meaning that like instead of having like a back like mine does that you could like screw into,
yes, it
has a magnet plate that it has to be stuck to, and the magnet plate is mounted to the wall because it's so thin you can't screw into it. I'll show you a video later to show you how thin it is. It's like flimsy.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. How much does that cost?
I don't know off the top of my head. My friends at work would kill me. Probably like, I'm gonna guess 6,000 probably.
Oh,
7,000.
What did you say it was called?
The 77-inch LG OLED W. I don't know the model, but that's
$6,996.
yeah, $7,000.
Okay.
But it's the best panel you can get,
Hands down.
hands down. The blacks, the colors, the contrast, the HDR on that TV is best. For $7,000.
How practical is that though? I mean, what demographic does that appeal to at a consumer level, like a general consumer level?
The
Because
person who makes $100,000 a year
right, but how many of those people
in
are
this
there
area,
care?
a lot.
Well, I guess you're right.
So it says in 2019 they're just going to make a smaller luxury model of that TV. It's going to be 6 feet wide.
A smaller
So 60. I mean, yeah,
72.
my bad, 72 inch. Yeah,
73.
Wow, that's not much smaller. 4 inches.
The smaller size fits with what Samsung told us at CES, that it's the next step after the wall would be to produce a 75-inch size at a 4K resolution.
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
it's very interesting.
I think the other OLED, I mean, if you're looking for a great picture, is the Sony OLEDs. I work with a few people who say that, who have them, and they're just, I have seen them with my own eyes. Some impressive displays. I mean, puts mine to shame. And I have a pretty beautiful TV.
Yeah.
I'm not tooting my own horn.
It's a great TV.
Truly.
But I'm excited just to see how they can get, because I mean, like, you know, when you can bring lifelike experience to your home, that's incredible.
Well, you know what you were talking about on the iPad, the augmented reality,
Yeah.
where it was up on the table. I think that's going to be the next step for television. It's going to be able to come out of your TV and be like a 3-dimensional version of whatever you were watching.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I didn't think about shit like that.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Could you imagine watching like the Hunger Games
Wait.
in 3D models?
Isn't that how they depicted it in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp when they're watching TV? Isn't that how it is? They put the glasses on and the Oompa Loompas are like live in front of them.
I have no idea, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about either.
What?
I think you're making stuff up.
I'm
No,
really making that up, bro.
the Willy Wonka remake.
They never remade Willy.
Yes, they did with Johnny
You're
Depp
making
Yes.
that up, bro.
after Gene Wilder.
Yeah, I know. But I don't think they did that, fam.
I'm pretty sure they did.
I'm
Like
making
when Mike TV's watching it, they have like the goggles on.
That's wild. I haven't seen the movie in quite some time.
It's been a minute for me also, but I like movies, so I pay attention to those.
Okay, let's get the volume off. Sorry.
I'm coughing. No, you're good. It's weird that I can.
Yes, they put goggles on.
They did?
They did put goggles on and they watched. Hold on. What did they do?
Are they like.
Oh no, it put them in the TV, didn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember. Did it put them in the TV or are the Oompa Loompas like in front of them? I couldn't remember. I thought the Oompa Loompas were like in front of them.
No, they're walking into basically like an empty room and there's one Oompa Loompa and he's sitting in this like control chair.
Oh yeah, they get zapped, or my TV gets zapped
Hmm.
into the TV.
I thought the point of it was that you could take things from the TV. Like, wasn't there a chocolate bar on television and then you like press a button and the chocolate
Yeah.
bar gets like materialized into real life and
Yeah.
then you can just have it.
Yeah.
And then one of them accidentally gets, I guess, dematerialized into the television, one of the kids.
I think because he's greedy or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, sure. I don't remember. Someone's gonna crucify us eventually, but like, that's not how it is.
I have no idea. I'm watching the scene right now. I'm basically just telling what it looks like.
No, it's
Well,
okay.
They're gonna be upset for us watching the remake, anyways.
It's whatever. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I
But
like
yeah.
that remake.
Johnny Depp does a great job. I mean,
I guess I'm just partial to Johnny Depp. I just like
Right,
watching him act. I think he's goofy.
he's a fantastic actor.
He is a good actor, no doubt. Wait, I could argue a lot of
Anyways,
things.
what were we talking about?
Technology. But I
Yes.
think that would be a cool advancement eventually to see that, like, let's say you're watching an ad for something and it's like, buy this now. You press a button and then, 10 minutes later it's materialized on your counter. Like, there it is.
Okay, so I feel that, like, interactive, like, real interactive, like, television.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. I
Yeah.
have to admit, like, well, imagine your television being touched with that, and you could just swipe through the channels, or you could like look at the weather and like browse at the same time. But adding Caitlin's concept to that, what if you could do that from your couch and it just popped up from the television on your kitchen table?
Think about the aspect, think about the impact that would have on like shopping, like.
Oh my gosh!
Think how that would affect.
Malls would go down.
Think about how that would affect standalone stores. I mean, if we're being honest, like.
Oh, absolutely.
If I can sit on my couch and look through a catalog of something, and see that on Best Buy's website, and then hit a button, and then it appear, then why would I go to a store to do that? Maybe to go talk about it, but I definitely wouldn't like buy it if I had to. I would do that from my couch if I knew I could get it that quickly.
What are the implications? Say like standalone stores do go down though. What are the implications of stores like let's consider like multiple brands just collapsing, because they just can't. However, that is to say if they don't evolve into some sort of just online retail business, anyways. Like lots of stores and brands have websites, so it would be easy for them to transition to some form of just online business,
I mean, yeah, to an extent, but they would still downsize massively to that extent.
Of course, absolutely. But I mean, consider even Best Buy. They're having to compete with Amazon right now, and they're doing a damn good job thus far. But
I mean, to an extent, they have to compete, but not as much as everyone thinks.
Well, that's because Amazon is only available to. I really want to say, people that have to have access to the internet, and that's not as widely available as you might think it is.
Very true.
And, I don't consider that. Especially access to a personal computer, that is, desktop or laptop, but I think that. Where was I going with that?
Train of thought,
yes.
He's distracted by these chips he's munching on.
Standalone stores, keeping up with the times, converting into online stores, having to downsize massively.
They would have to downsize, but how much?
Well, think about it like this. If I have the ability to just materialize something into the house, I think at that extent then I wouldn't even have to like go to the store to talk to someone. I'm sure that there would be like a person that I would just be talking to live right there. Like, this is what this item does. Do you have any questions?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, so here's a thought. Would you think that stores would become more specialized or more generalized? Would Walmart's be more about like the products that, I guess the question is, would the products that you buy online be simple things like groceries, or would they be things like, shopping, furniture, artwork, jewelry, makeup, I don't know. And then the stores that are left over would be places that you could go run to get a gallon of milk? Or would the stores that would be left over be places to go buy things like James Avery, handcrafted jewelry?
To be extreme, with all the advancements we have in like postal service, with drone delivery and stuff like that, eventually you could see just like direct warehouse to location like shipping, because if standalone stores did fail and they just became entirely online, you could transition all of the employees into like a call center. And if we have television the way that it is in the future, they could honestly be 3D holographic images working from a call center. You wouldn't be on the phone with them; they would be live in your living room as a 3-dimensional image.
There would still need to be like in-person stores.
I mean, only for
groceries, and not even then, because we're already seeing express like pickup, like you order groceries at Walmart.
There's really not a need for stores for anything.
Yeah,
but
that's only at a certain point in technological advancement.
I mean,
that's not off the bat.
I'm being extreme. Yeah, of course, I'll admit I'm being extreme. But we could see eventually just like warehouses full. Just warehouses, no storefronts, just warehouses.
Yeah.
Direct to where, not some ridiculous like WALL-E, kind of dystopian
But I still
world.
think that even at that point, then stores would exist as a novelty.
Yeah, but you would only need them for like repairs or like customer service.
No, you're not understanding me. People would go to stores in the sense that we go to museums, like we would want to go anyways.
But that doesn't keep
the experience.
That doesn't keep the doors open. That doesn't keep the doors open.
That doesn't keep the doors open.
That's not a business practice.
I mean, think about what you've been learning. Like, what's the demand for anything that they have in there?
If I just go to Best Buy because it's there and treat it like a museum and look at the things and experience the experience, but I don't buy it there.
And he just walks out? I mean, or they charge an admission?
Well, they would have to have some sort of incentive. Maybe it costs less to go buy it from the store.
So they just lower their prices.
Maybe you get coupons.
But that's how you know you're losing, like, economically.
It would still eventually fail.
That's how you know you're losing economically. If you start to lower your prices, like, anywhere below the market, then you're fucked.
I guess so.
I just don't think that stores are as necessary as people thought they were. Or they used to be.
Well, definitely
You're right,
not.
It's not the 1800s.
Yeah, and they definitely won't be.
I'm so glad she said that. Think about Sears. Sears is bankrupt. They're going out of business, and they were a cornerstone of American society.
Right.
For like 100 some odd years, 200 years, like maybe even longer. No, I don't think so. Like 200 years, maybe.
I don't know when they were originally founded.
Are you checking that?
Kate's gonna fact check it. But
Thanks.
What I will say is that Sears is a business just when
it was Sears and Roebuck.
They just got, I don't want to say outdone, but
it was formed in 1893.
Yeah.
Okay. So like 120 years, if you will. 100, yeah.
And
90 to 93 is 100 plus. That would be 21, so that's 121 plus another 4 is 125. That's 125 years.
125 years.
125 years of business, Sears is going out of business. But it's because they did the same thing, dude. They didn't change anything, man.
Well, not even. Whenever they added the retail stores, that was diversification technically, because they moved from building materials to shopping materials.
Okay, so I mean,
clothing items, makeup items, gifts.
We're not economists, so but we could probably go find an article.
They had an auto center
and read and find out.
But
where they went wrong.
here's not. I mean, here I can explain why they went wrong.
Okay, where?
So, Kate said it best. They added these things. They added clothing. They added the auto center. They added things that they didn't do originally, right? And it was probably convenient at first because they were doing it, right? Okay. But then you had to go to Walmart to get your groceries. But you can also get your tires changed at Walmart. You can also buy your kids uniforms at Walmart.
So the real problem is the overreaching hand of Walmart.
To an extent, but also think about Target. You can do most of the same things at Target. You can't get your car worked down at Target, but you can get all your groceries there. You can buy clothes there.
I mean, yeah, I definitely do go to Target to buy clothes.
And the other thing that they did was appliances. They did appliances, washing machines, dryers for a long time.
Right, beds,
Right, but then places like Lowe's and Home Depot and IKEA came along. So if you're building a home, if you need those materials, you can source them from those businesses, and you're already there getting that. So why wouldn't you just get your appliances there?
Walmart sells that stuff too.
So the problem really is conglomerates that are eating away are just monopolizing on every aspect
because of convenience to an extent. Yeah,
so
societal convenience.
It's just consumerism, bro. Like, they're just providing what we need, and they're stepping on the environment and the liberties of people here domestically and abroad. Like, obviously we know that Amazon treats its workers very poorly, and Walmart doesn't pay people a living wage. This is true. However, they just switched to 15, didn't they?
I don't know.
They just raised their minimum to 15, I'm pretty sure, like, recently. No. Excuse me, it was McDonald's. He's going after Walmart, right? Bernie Sanders is going after Walmart right now. But it's just really tragic that this is happening.
But I mean, here's the problem with raising it to 15. Then everybody else raises to 15, right? Because they have to compete with that to an extent. Like, if Best Buy started paying me $15 an hour, then people from Walmart would try to apply there, and we'd probably hire them.
Well, it really depends on like the store's income. Like at Chipotle, our starting minimum wage is like $10 an hour. That's really high for Texas.
Yeah, I started at minimum wage when I started at Whataburger.
I mean, the very first job I ever worked at, I got $7.25 for. So
yeah. So I mean, like,
$10 is very different.
If you want to,
but it's still not even livable to an extent.
No, of course not. But it's. What I'm saying is Chipotle could afford to pay you $10.
Right.
The little store that I worked at whenever I got my very first job didn't make very much money. It was a little mom and pop store. They couldn't afford that. So not everybody is going to be able to raise their minimum wage to that.
I'm glad you said that, because I was thinking, like, if everyone implemented a $15 an hour minimum wage, would it be healthy after a while, or would it honestly be detrimental? I was thinking that, initially, obviously, you would be collecting more taxes. There would be more generated in taxes. But would it be harmful to the companies paying 15 because they honestly couldn't afford it? Because I think that the price of goods, or just goods, would probably go up slightly, just because I believe demand would increase because people would have more money, right? And that might decrease the supply of goods worldwide or locally, domestically, for a little bit. But there are two sides of that. Maybe the economy wouldn't recover, or maybe that $15 an hour, consumer circle would stimulate the economy and keep it running and actually be healthy for it. So there's just something to think about. That's weird.
Yeah, I guess it would definitely depend on whether the business themselves could do it or not.
Could support it, and that's what I was circling around to. That's what Caitlin was saying. Some businesses may not be able to sustain that. That's crazy.
And it's kind of, I don't know, it's interesting to see how businesses recently have been like falling so quickly, like as far as value is concerned, and then gaining and falling so quickly. Have you seen that? Apple, Tesla, Amazon, all fluctuating very, like,
it's very sporadic.
Yeah, like for a few days. Apple's been on a decline for a little while, I think, because of all the security stuff. Him and Mark Zuckerberg have been kind of arguing back and forth at each other. I'm interested to see kind of how Tesla's going to do in the next few years or so.
Me too. I'm hoping that they'll stay afloat, but it's not looking too great right now.
I don't know. With them, I think that them being, they are the leading electric car company. We'll say that right now. And with them having, the years in study and advancement and finance that they have, they're kind of in the best position to do what they're doing. But at the same time, they've got some problems that people are very much aware of. That, they kind of keep some people from, I don't want to say pulling the trigger, but deciding on it or not, And that raises the question, do other companies like that Rivian that just came out, like, do they pose a threat, to Tesla in the coming years or so? Did you see about that? The SUV, the truck.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of electric car models that are absolutely rivals to Tesla's electric car models. Like there are some really nice ones coming out, especially in 2019.
Let's see here.
I've got a list pulled up, just a couple of. Well, obviously the Tesla Model 3 is on there, but Mini Cooper is coming out with one called the Mini E. We've got one by Jaguar. It's called the XJ. There's going to be one by Audi. It's called the e-tron Sportback. But there's also another one by Audi. It's called the Q6 e-tron Quattro SUV. And it's just a little bit bigger than the Sportback. It looks really nice. Porsche's coming out with a Mission E. Mercedes-Benz Generation EQ is beautiful. The interior, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Seems that there's also a 2020 Lincoln Aviator.
Wow, I would love to see what that car looks like.
The 2020 Kia Soul EV. Supposed to be kind of promising. There's also possibly going to be a Kia Evo coming out in 2019, also an electric vehicle.
Did I mention the Nissan IDS? I don't think I did. I think I skipped over that one. It's going to have autonomous features, so like, some self-driving capabilities.
Impressive.
Coming out in 2019, dude.
That's crazy. That's really soon.
Yeah, that's next year.
I don't want to talk about how soon that is. But also 2018 lasted for a really long time.
For like a sneeze.
Did y'all know?
That was it.
No, man, it didn't last that
Really?
long. This summer.
Do y'all remember the Olympics?
Well, I forget the beginning of the year.
Did you remember that there were Olympics in 2018?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
There were Winter Olympics.
I think that's why I feel like the year passed by so quickly, because I only remember like the last 4 months.
You're right. There was the 2018 Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
Wow.
2018 has been dragging by.
Like I said, this summer.
The summer went by super quick, but the fall has been just.
It normally is. It slows down a lot. It's dark by 6. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I guess that's true.
But I feel like
the days seem like they drag on. It really throws off your sleep schedule just for like 3 months, and then it's like back to normal.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, okay, here we go.
You have to wake up early that one day, everything's horrible, and then you're normal again.
Yeah, and then you're fine with it. And then one day comes along that you get to sleep for 1 more hour, and you're just like, why do I feel so great? Oh.
That's always so life-changing.
And then
it's
for
revolutionary.
But then for a week, like, your clocks are off, and you're like,
why is
fuck, I'm late for work. And you're like, oh, I'm not. It's okay. Oh, God.
You have to know the number of times that I did that.
It's
probably
terrifying.
Too many.
It's terrifying.
I think, honestly, like 3. Probably like 3.
Admit, it's terrifying.
My car clock, my microwave clock. What else? I don't really have clocks on anything else. Maybe it happened twice. At your apartment, I guess on your microwave also.
Yeah, my microwave
I think that's
clock
3
is wrong.
times.
Was your computer clock correct?
Yeah, it changed on its own.
That's good.
Why would I have to change? When is the last time you had to change a computer clock?
On the last desktop I had. Not the one that I have now, the one that I had before it.
But you've had this one for a hot minute.
Yeah, since February, March. I've had it since I met you guys, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I think I bought it right before I met you guys.
You did.
So, February.
Because it was new whenever we first met you. You talked about it a lot.
Super nice. You didn't have it for that long, man.
Did we talk about food delivery?
No, we haven't gotten there yet. So do you think that Rivian company, that the other companies, the big names like Audi, Jaguar, Nissan, Kia, the companies that have been making cars consistently for years that people are enjoying,
already have an edge. You have to understand that.
Do you think
they've got their foot in the door, right?
Right. But do you think they can dethrone Tesla? Do you think that they will eventually put Tesla, I don't want to say out of business, but...
For sure. For sure. In the same sense that, like the Galaxy, what's it called? The Galaxy Note 8 or whatever is like doing just as well as Apple's newest iPhone.
Yeah, I don't think...
Because, Apple had the edge when it had the edge, but as soon as everybody caught up, they were on even playing fields.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Like,
so same thing with Tesla. The reason Tesla did so well is because it was new. It was something nobody was doing at that time. But now there are 10 different cars on this page that I'm reading that are not by Tesla that are equally as cool as Tesla.
and I think if companies are capable of keeping them as cost efficient,
Especially like the Mini Cooper. I meet an unreasonable amount of people who like Mini Coopers. Like, they just think they're cute cars. My mom had one at one point in time, you know?
honestly about to say, I mean, they're just cute cars. Like, come on.
Yeah, even you like them, see? And so they've got an electric car that's coming out. I feel like that's probably going to be pretty accessible to just normal people like you and me, as much as their other cars are. Obviously, they're sport vehicles.
Yeah. And I think that what else is cool about cars is they're also getting cooler. Technology in cars is getting smarter. Things are developing there too. Like the autonomous driving features. The like simple things like having good stereo systems or like built-in DVD players, things like that.
Or like, something that I really like on some of the newer cars is on the back to open up the trunk, you know, there are like foot sensors.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's
yeah,
cool
I've seen some
to
cars
like
with
free up
that.
your hands.
Yeah, that's super cool. Just little things.
It's the little things in life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think cars will like eventually come equipped with dash cams?
Dash cams? Yeah, probably.
Just for like liability reasons.
Yeah, and I mean like even like insurance purposes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some insurances will give you a discount if you have a dash cam installed.
When I'm a big CEO of a company and I make a lot of money, I'm going to get in cahoots with the car companies and enforce there to be like animal whistles on the front of every car that is made ever, just to make sure that, you know, less animals are getting hit on the road. That's the tangent I've been on lately. I'm so upset about the number of animals that I see lying dead on the side of the road.
You know, if you pitch that to the right company, you could probably sell that really well because...
My other idea is maybe like a spray that you like spray on the sides of the roads that's like an animal deterrent. Like, we could just find a smell that's just like, I don't know, that they just are distasteful of, that they just don't like, and we could like make it mandatory that like counties were required to do like regular spraying
or
on the sides of large highways and stuff where there's high traffic.
What if you incorporate into the cleaning materials that they use on like roadways?
That's exactly what I was thinking about, because there's already stuff that gets sprayed on the roads anyways.
Yeah, so you just incorporate that in that cleaning product, you know?
Yeah. That's like my big time goal, like in the next 10 years.
I bet you could talk to somebody about that, because animal rights activists, people who care about animals in general, I mean, I would be more willing to purchase a car knowing that I'm deterring an animal from coming near
There's
it. There's
already whistles that you can purchase and attach to the front of your car. So like,
really?
Even my mom told me this was a good idea. You could buddy up with like car insurance companies and maybe have like, I want to say like, not rebates, but
discounts?
Yeah, like discounts on your insurance if you have like animal safety features, you know, like whistles on the front of your car, and maybe they could get like discounts on their monthly bill or something.
That's
and
really
that would
cool.
encourage people to have more, you know, measures attached to their cars if I couldn't get them to be like mandatory, which would be difficult, obviously.
I don't know. I mean, I think that it would interest a lot of people, and like a lot of people would be down for what you were trying to do, you know?
I also think that a lot of people wouldn't really care, though.
I mean...
Because, you know, like, I'm talking about, like, even animals like the deer, coyotes, raccoons, squirrels, armadillo, you know, like, random animals.
Yeah, I mean, to that extent...
they deserve to not get smashed by cars.
Yeah.
I mean, think about, like, a dog whistle concept, you know?
Yeah.
But
well, dog whistles call dogs.
Yeah, but like the reverse of that, like a frequency that would disturb like any type of animal for a while.
There are some, that's what I'm talking about, that
okay.
exist. They just don't work on cats and dogs, but they work on like deer.
Yeah, so if someone could develop something that was like universal.
Right.
But
that's why I was thinking like a scent, you know, like maybe an intimidating scent that animals didn't like.
How ethical would that be, though? I mean, what would they need?
It would be better than putting up fences.
Well,
Fences can separate like herds of animals, you know, or families, or
And that would just be like, that would be so many
It would be so
lawsuits,
expensive.
you know, that would be expensive.
And it would have to go over people's property. Yeah, exactly.
It would be ridiculous.
It would be much easier to integrate like a spray.
I agree. Interesting. It'd be cool to see where the development of, that goes. Of like the protection of animals, not necessarily just, domesticated, but wild as well. Yeah. I'm also interested to see where the development of where food delivery goes.
That was a good
transition.
Yeah,
you like it?
A good transition. I like it.
But I really am. No, because like think about it, like 2 years ago I moved to Tyler, right? And I was like, oh, it's so cool. I have so many more food opportunities that I can go to now. I can go to Red Lobster. I can go to Olive Garden, right? And now I'm like, I don't want to fucking leave my house. I will have someone bring waiter to me.
Yeah, you
because
have gotten lazy.
I am lazy, right? But like 2 years ago, I didn't know, and I don't think it was an option when I got here. Actually, when I first got here,
I don't think so.
And so like I'm super impressed to have that now. Like, so it's cool to see where food's gonna go past that. Like now restaurants themselves are delivering directly from them. Like Outback, you can order from Outback and they will bring directly to you. Like, don't you guys do a delivery kind of thing?
Only through like third party vendors. We do like DoorDash and Waiter.
Oh, okay.
We don't have
like
our own in-house service yet. Mm-hmm.
See, but like Taco Bell, you can like go to their website and like order delivery and they'll bring it to you.
That's nice.
Yeah, like same for Outback.
Wow, Outback.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm interested to see if other companies will start doing that, like having a delivery person.
Well, restaurants will eventually like phase out servers then and just transition them into that role,
No, because I think doing it, like everybody's gonna want a fresh hot meal to an extent. You know what I mean? Like,
Fair.
I would rather have a fresh hot meal than someone brought it to me. I'm just lazy and I don't want people to bring. I don't want to go get it. You know what I mean?
Fair.
So I'm interested to see how far that can go.
Well, I said something about drone delivery earlier, and I think that's definitely a channel that we could see opening up in regards to food delivery, because what even is the need for a driver at that point?
Well, yeah, autonomous delivery is obviously going to be the next step, being able to get your food without having to have any human interaction whatsoever. That's the only logical next step forward. I mean, that's why vehicles are becoming autonomous.
Yeah, I mean, that's the next step for anything, is that humans don't have to do it.
Even touch it.
Right.
Yeah.
Which at that point is just like, why are we even
by the way, Apple Pay makes very convenient. I love just...
Yeah, have you been using it recently?
It's so good.
Yeah,
super nice.
I very much like having the Touch ID sensor on my MacBook, because I can just reach up and empty my bank account so much faster.
That would be so dangerous.
Oh, it is. It is.
So much online shopping.
It's like, oh, you're on Amazon? Do you want to purchase this and ship it to you right now? And I'm like,
I'll just scan your
wow, how did you know? That's exactly what I wanted to do. Please take all my money.
That's that's evil right there, man.
But it's beautiful.
That's
I couldn't have put it any better than
that. It's so great. I can't wait until Face ID comes to MacBooks. I will say that's the one thing that I like on your laptop, is that it can read your face. It does take forever, though.
If you don't know, the Face ID on my laptop sucks.
Yeah, I've seen it fail a couple times.
No, it is the worst Face ID ever, and I just opt to put in the key code every single time I log on to this laptop. I'm not joking.
You've seen how my laptop unlocks.
It cannot recognize me, like if I have my bangs pulled back, or if I have on a pair of glasses that I haven't gotten recognized into the system.
Really?
Maybe you should just redo it.
You have to, like, with every pair of glasses, I have to get it to, like, memorize my face.
That's
or, like, I have
dumb.
to get it to memorize my face with my bangs back and get it to memorize my face with my bangs down.
No, see, really what's cool about...
Like, it doesn't know who I am.
Face ID recognizes me. Like, if I have my other glasses on, it'll still recognize my face.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm appreciative
That's
of that.
ideal.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I understand. Yeah, like you would want your laptop to do that too. No, absolutely.
no, it just makes me mad. I just don't use it.
But I wish I at least had the option. You know, I feel like it would be pretty good over here.
What is this laptop called? It's the HP. What now?
Envy.
Okay, so that's the thing. Here's what's fun about HP, Dell, Lenovo.
Like,
well,
don't
not
get me
not so
wrong.
much
It's
Lenovo.
a super beautiful laptop. It's
No,
beautifully designed.
No, yeah. No, I get you. No.
Definitely, if you're gonna buy the HP Envy, don't buy it for the Face ID recognition because that's not what it's for.
So there's like a lot of problem with that because there are a lot of HP Envies.
Okay, well, what
Because
number is it?
HP sucks. That's what's funny. It's the Envy 360, but it's specifically a AMD variant of the of the HP Envy 360. But there's like other HP Envy 360s. So if you just Google that, you'll get like 12 results. Very dumb.
Before I knew you and I would look for stuff like this on the internet, I would always be so confused why so many different things would come up when I would search stuff like that. And I would be like, why are there like 9 different versions of this?
Yeah.
But that makes sense.
Because
now.
there's technically there's an HP Envy in a few different price ranges. Like you could probably get an HP Envy for like $500 and you can get one for like $800 and you can get one for like $1,200. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there are intervals of the price, but they're all HP Envies.
Right.
Right. So it's interesting wording.
What we're saying,
I guess.
kids, is you don't want my laptop. It's nice,
For the face
but you don't want
recognition.
it.
For the face recognition. You don't want it for the face recognition. It's good for
I mean, truly,
everything else.
for this price, you could get so many other laptops that would perform better, you know?
Yeah.
The only reason we got this one is because we had, like, a coupon on it.
Yeah, that's the only reason you got it. I'm just going to bleep it out. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I mean, I guess technically I could give it to you guys as a gift, I think. I don't know. I think I'm supposed to wait a year. I don't know. I'll just cut this whole section. It doesn't matter.
You paid for it.
Yeah.
I watched you buy it.
Yeah. But I can't give it to you.
But
We walked out of the
Best
store.
Buy doesn't know what we're talking
We
about.
walked out of the store,
Yeah.
and then you
But
gave
they
it
could.
to us for my birthday.
I think you're sketch. What are you talking about?
I'm careful.
I thought you gave it to me for my birthday.
Oh, well. Anyways. Don't buy that HP Envy for the facial recognition.
Trasheroni.
It's got some
We were
Poop
talking about
ass.
food.
We were talking about food. And now we're talking about laptops again.
You're right.
Hilarious.
Never
Never
get
say
here.
no. Never say no.
So you think just like drones would be the future of food delivery? Or do you think that it would return back to that whole you see it appears in front of you kind of thing?
I think that's definitely a very
I think
likely
that shit
option.
is
Also,
illogical.
if we can figure out how to get, combine the idea of 3D printers plus the new upcoming holographic technology or whatever.
I think
Wow.
this dark matter shit is dumb. Like this. I don't think time travel will ever be possible. It's not realistic. It doesn't make sense.
Well,
Teleportation not possible. You will never be
Yeah,
able
I
to do
think
that.
that's true. I think that's true.
I disagree.
You'll
I
never
think
be able to do that on a
You
scale.
don't think it's
on
possible?
a scale that's safe for humans because of the way biologically we are composed? Hell no. I just imagine the amount of radiation it
we
would
can't
take.
withstand very much like G-forces or radiation for that matter. So I just don't think it makes sense.
Okay, but I'm not talking about people right now. We're talking about food.
I think that's dumb too because I feel like it would still be irradiated, and at what cost?
I'm just saying,
how much
like,
would it cost?
You don't think that at any point in time we could ever get to the point where we can take one piece of something and move it without affecting it
You know what?
to the
I
point
believe?
where you can't?
I believe that if you can dream something up, you can make it. And if it takes hundreds of years to make it, humans will make it.
No.
I mean, that's just what we do. We're inventors. We create things. We're makers. I don't know what else to tell you.
What you're asking is for something that moves like faster than the speed of light.
No, I'm not asking for it to be quick by any means. I'm not saying do it instantly. I'm saying, do you think that it would be possible for someone to, at any point in time, say, I want to buy that, I want that meal. I want to order that meal. And then in 10 minutes, it has appeared.
Downloaded.
Yeah, essentially into your life. And there it is, and now you can eat it.
Maybe it could take the amount of time that it would take to make a
That's what I'm saying. Or drive to get it.
Like a 3D printer.
Why?
With like a television.
That's literally impossible because you can't invent matter.
I'm not asking you to invent matter. I'm asking you to move matter from one location to another.
No, and that's what I just said. You're asking for something to teleport something.
Well, we used to think that we were not able to transport sound either.
Why can't
we figured out how to do that?
Why can't we capture sound and move it? Yes.
But we couldn't.
But it doesn't come out. Sound doesn't still on the other end doesn't come out as a tangible physical thing. It comes out in the same form in which it was captured, right?
Right. So why can't you
do that
take
with solids, bro? You can't do that with material because you just cannot do that, bro.
Because we don't have the technology right now. But
no,
I'm asking
we never will. I
have an idea.
I truly believe we never will.
Bet him $100 that that's something that will happen, and then when we're all like 98 years old,
I bet you $100 right now.
I truly believe we will never.
Okay, then bet me $100 right now.
I bet you $100 we will never be able to teleport food.
Nice.
I just don't see why it's impossible. Like, we don't have the technology to do it right now, but I don't see why it can't be possible. Because if we could learn to move matter, we just have to learn how to disassemble something and reassemble it. But if it's not living, it's not a problem about how you put it back together. That's the thing. If it's food...
Like, if we could figure out how to get it to move in a streamline of literal molecules.
Right.
Okay, but let's talk about it. When it's developed, it's still going to be revolutionary and it's still going to be fucking absurd.
Right, but after hundreds of years, it could be just as common as, like, telephone poles.
It will be.
We're not talking about when it's developed, if it's even developed. We're talking about when it's invented and it's in its raw form and how much energy it's going to cost to make that happen. And how inevitably how much radiation is...
No, you're right.
That food is going to be exposed to. I mean, think about microwaves. The smallest scale you can imagine. And we use it to cook food and heat up food, and yet we're still exposed to tiny bits of not harmful radiation, but still nevertheless radiation over countless years of use, right? That transporting that not only would probably cause it to combust, to be honest. Let's take it that way. Would it even be able to survive the food? Who knows, right?
Probably not at
Probably
first.
not. So, I mean...
But I'm sure that we could... I'm just so sure that we could figure this out.
So, back to what you said earlier, if they can cryogenically freeze a person and stop time in an aging process, why can't they disassemble something and then cryogenically freeze it so then it's no longer affected what's going on around it? Freezing something is just as the same as... That's how you preserve it. So then you don't have to put any kind of radiation on it. You're not doing anything to mess with the food. Then you just have to learn how to move that molecule.
You could just send it down a tube.
Essentially, it's just figuring out how to wire those things.
No, I think that's absurd.
I just think you're not thinking about it. I don't know. I think you're
closed-minded.
Yeah, I think you're just not thinking outside the box, man.
No, man, that's just not going to be possible. I'm telling you, like, we won't be able to do that ever. It won't happen.
No, I think you're wrong.
Nah, bro. I think that's absolutely absurd. That's what you see in movies. The shit that we see in movies
what you see in movies, what you see in movies is where they take a pizza that's the size of a dime, they throw it on a plate, and then 10 seconds later it's a giant fucking pizza. It feeds 8 people. That's never going to happen.
Well, what I'm saying is that you will literally have to decompose that thing into a message, a wave. You have to convert food into a wave.
Listen,
like
actually,
sound or light.
wrong. I can literally think about it like this. Cait said it earlier. It is about augmented reality. Let's say that I have on my computer at this point in time a projector that projects a cake onto my display, right? If I have the technology advanced, what I do is I pay for that. It sends the instructions to a 3D printer and prints out the fucking food.
So you're going to print out a cake using what? What material?
That's what I'm saying. They would just develop that.
No, that you guys are literally just stretching the boundaries of this using your imagination. That's not tangible.
We're literally taking things that exist in the real world that you can go and purchase right now and would just have to program to do.
What material do you use in a 3D printer right now? It's just some weird paste.
No, people use it to print cake designs. People use it to print phone cases. People use it to print guns, shells,
3D printer
body parts
to print food.
People do it for cakes, bro.
Cake designs, bro.
No, cakes.
Like sugar.
Like fondant. Like hard cakes. Like make things and put them on cakes.
I don't see this happening, man. You're asking me, I order a burger and fries.
You're blowing my mind right now.
And a drink. And you're asking a 3D printer to print that for me and make it edible for me.
Okay, well
and flavorful for me at the push of a button. That is the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
Let's back up a step then. Let's back up a step. What do you think the next logical step in food delivery is?
I think it's going to be rational for a while until we have, I always forget the fucking word.
Okay, but what is it?
It's drone delivery. It's going to be automated. Eventually, everything will be automated until the point that man and human join together. But I don't think that will ever be possible.
Man and human?
Man and human. Machine and human join together.
So you mean like augmented reality?
No, that's
like
not
AI.
That's not augmented reality. AI and augmented reality are not the same thing.
AI is a learning artificial intelligence.
Yes,
you're telling me that it could not intelligently decide what I am ordering and tell what ingredients I would need to a 3D printer.
No, that's not what I said at all. You're not listening. It's still, in order to transport food, anything, which we can't do, it would have to move faster than the speed of light.
Why?
Because that's how physics work, bro. That's how the universe is. If you break that law, I'll owe you $100. But that's not happening. It's just not realistic. It'll never happen. I mean, unless you can harness electricity straight from the fucking source, nah, don't talk to me, bro. Like, nah. I mean, we do that, but like, you can't do that. You just can't do that. Capture light in a bottle for me. Do that for me, and then I will totally fucking believe you.
I just feel like it's possible someday.
I just think that there are so many things that are possible now that used to be inconceivable that it just seems silly of us to think that anything could be impossible like that, you know?
Anything like that
we have so many of the pieces for. There's only like one or two pieces of that puzzle missing. At least something similar to it. You know, if not that exact product, then something very similar to it.
Well, even if you can print yourself some food. I just don't see it being
of course, something. I think that at first it would probably be subpar. It probably would suck. It probably wouldn't taste very good at first. But then it would be developed and developed and developed. Like the very first cell phones sucked. Those were not cool. Nobody wanted those.
About how unimportant this is. Like, I'm just thinking about how...
It's just an outworldly idea. You know, like nobody wants to listen to us talk about how drone delivery is going to happen in a few years. They want to hear something that's outlandish.
But the thing is like, people aren't asking for what's important. They're asking for what's convenient.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, but
right. So
I'm not talking about just food delivery, but I mean in anything, regardless.
In anything, convenience is key. If it's more convenient to me, if I can get it right here, right now, as soon as I want it, ASAP, as quick as possible, that's what they're gonna do. That's why online shopping is such a big deal, because they can just order it. They don't have to go anywhere, they don't have to do anything. They can just put their money somewhere and boom, there it is.
But do you remember online shopping used to not be that cool?
Exactly.
Nobody
People were
wanted
like,
to do that.
oh, Amazon, I don't order from there. They're going to steal my credit card.
It's going to be what I want, you know? Like, I can't see it in real life. I can't try on these pants. How do I know if they're going to fit?
My grandma once got mad at me for ordering a headset to her house because she did not want anyone knowing where she lived.
How is that related to what we were talking about?
Convenience.
Okay, yeah, but that's still not related to like how making that possible. Like, that's not like,
I don't know how they would make it possible. I'm just saying that is extremely convenient, and I feel like that is something someone is probably working towards.
I bet it's an idea that a scientist is investigating.
No, man, we have much bigger issues to tackle. I hope to God nobody is developing that, because it's a waste of time.
What do you think Elon Musk is working on right now? Dumb things.
He's probably smoking a joint.
He just comes up with dumb stuff and then makes it. There are people out there that do that. There is some innovator out there that is creating an idea and he's trying to make it real life. That's what they do. That's his purpose. It gives him life to wake up in the morning and create new things.
Beautifully put. Interesting. Glad we all yell at each other about food delivery for 12 minutes.
Hollering over here.
Isn't it great? Oh, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go lately on my Switch. Pokemon Let's Go.
Wow.
I've been really obsessed with Ariana Grande lately. I can't get over her. I think I've got a girl crush.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good.
I just want to be just like her.
I mean, you know, shoot for the stars, kid.
Like, I'm starstruck. Like, I don't ever feel this way about celebrities. I've always just been like, oh, they're just normal people, you know? Like, they're just elevated people. But no, she's beyond that. She's something else. She is perfection.
I gotta admit, she is pretty great.
She's got the attitude. She's got all the vibe. She's got the voice, the look. She's just something else entirely. She's a star.
Cole, thoughts on Ariana Grande? No? Wow. Have you watched the Thank You Next video yet, Cole?
I was watching it earlier.
It's super spicy.
We did watch it right before. I watched it. I literally watched it probably like 4 minutes before you guys got here.
I'm actually kind of mad that you didn't like wait on me to see it with you.
Me and Veronica were FaceTiming, and she was like, "Have you watched the video yet?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "You should watch it like right now." And I was like, "We're FaceTiming," and she was like, "Okay." I was like, "Okay, I'll watch it in a minute." And she was like,
the answer is no. I have to wait on Caitlin because she loves her.
I didn't know you were in love with her until right now.
Interesting.
I don't keep up with your girl crushes.
I see how much you care.
She's not a common point of conversation, Ariana Grande. I wouldn't say. We talk about her a lot.
No, I guess you're right.
What
do we talk about?
Technology, Family Guy, TV shows, memes.
I think that would probably be what
memes is probably 98% of our conversation.
I think so.
Like our Facebook and Instagram messages are just memes.
And we're like, haha, look at this one.
Yeah, look at this dumb shit. I send you and Cole dumb shit all the time.
Yeah. Honestly, sometimes I forget to even like read the stuff that you send me, and it just sits there and it never gets read.
Hilarious.
I'll get it when I don't have like any data or Wi-Fi, and I'll just forget because it'll get unmarked.
Right.
George H.W. Bush died today.
Who? Which one is that? The old one? Is that the old one?
That's the first one.
Stop.
When was he president? What years was he president?
I can't even know.
Can you fact check that, Kate? I bet people are just like, oh my fucking god, these dumbass kids.
Millennials. Don't you want to listen to us?
Someone probably does, hopefully.
What's got this
Probably
bad?
not. I don't think I've been gargling dicks for a week. My mom's gonna listen to this. She's
Probably
gonna be
not
like,
been.
Michael.
What was his name? George?
H.W. Bush.
I believe you guys.
I'm just curious of when he was president. Shit.
Yeah, that's George Bush Sr. He served from 1989 to 1993. Listen,
you.
there is a good reason why I don't know about this. That's like when my mom was a child. My mom was born in 1980.
So
I
was
was
mine,
not
yeah.
around during that point in time. How am I supposed to know? who
Also,
this guy
all
is?
of my history and government teachers in high school were coaches.
Yeah, same.
So I learned how to do push-ups.
In history class.
Yeah.
Oh, you
and
got your answer wrong? Give me 10 right now.
what games to play on websites at school, and how the review was the exact same as the test, and all of them,
Wink, wink.
they would go over the review and tell you the answers, and they would like, this may or may not be the same as the test, and it was the exact same. So all you had to do
If
was
you could just memorize the letters.
Yes.
Or write them down on a piece of paper.
That's what everybody did. I had a guy who wrote them like on his finger right here, and he was just like
That's
this
so
the whole
dumb.
test. It was so
That's
stupid.
so dumb.
Oh man. Well, I think I'm done talking. I've been talking a lot.
Anything left to say?
I'm pretty sickly.
Anybody have anything left to
I
say?
can't think of anything for right now. Cole, you got anything to add? With a
Okay.
mouthful of Pringles.
Well, I'm going to leave it on this note. I miss Obama. Good night.
All right, that's been the first episode of the Loudtime Podcast. Thanks for joining us. Sorry, I have trouble talking. I'm really bad at it. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you next time. Adios.